So I watched this movie yesterday. I've tried not to see any trailers or read any descriptions for any film I intend on watching. This started with Ant-Man 5 million years ago and was totally worth it. So when I walked into this movie, I legitimately thought that at some point it might be about a spider or something. But anyways, Longlegs is a horror mystery directed by Oz Perkins about a psychic weirdo looking for a killer weirdo and then another killer weirdo. Is that a spoiler? Anyway, it's a pretty good summary. This thing doesn't feel generic. If there's one thing I have to recognize about it, is that it tries to be different. It's unique in its style, it looks good, it has cinematography where they actually try. Maybe even a little bit too much, you know, that artsy neon and A24 style is here in full display. No generic Hollywood polished feel in any sense. I wish they would have had the guts to leave it in this 4:3 aspect ratio. They don't, they just leave it for the flashbacks, which makes sense, but overall I think it comes together pretty good. In terms of effects, overall it's not too gory, but it does have a tasteful pinch of gore. It doesn't go crazy with the visual effects. It mostly has well-crafted practical ones that give the whole movie a very retro feel, added to it taking place in the 90s. The wardrobe and locations also match that of a small town, riding the line between cozy grandma core and scary. In my opinion, visuals are the strongest point of this film. It's not cheap, it doesn't go for the quick, tense moment topped with jump scare sequences. It doesn't feel too formulaic. The main character is weird, and that's cool. She acts weird and you know something's up, which adds to the element of mystery. The story overall works reasonably well. I don't know if it's just me, but there's this bit of exposition regarding the modus operandi of the killer, and then I think in the next scene you meet a guy's family and you're like, oh, I know what this movie's trying to set up. You think you're slick, big reveal, huh? But for me it seemed pretty obvious, in part due to the great acting actually, which to me is the second best part of this movie. But what makes it worse is that this modus operandi would be pretty obvious for the guy whose family you just met, but he seems pretty unfazed after knowing that, which is kinda stupid, but I guess that was done to hide the big reveal, because it's meant to be a mystery/detective film. So you can follow along with the story and how they unravel certain elements. It has some elements of cryptography or something, but it just seems like filler. Let's just say the main character doesn't spend too much time figuring it out, and they also have like demon magic, but that's neither here nor there. Overall, the story is well executed. Some elements seem interesting in the sense that it's meant to keep you guessing, while other parts, while I wouldn't go as far as calling them an afterthought, they seem certainly underdeveloped. Here's the thing, in my opinion, horror movies have set the bar pretty low. So if you're a true horror fanatic, then I don't think this will rattle you. It's more so like a cool detective movie, like that's what you have to think about when you go into it. If you're like religious, then maybe the satanic references might disturb you a bit, but honestly I was falling asleep during an actually crucial part of the movie. So make of that what you will, but at the end of the day, Longlegs is a wonderfully crafted movie in terms of visuals. 100% I'll give it that, and it puts good care into storytelling, but with some plot points that go nowhere, get resolved too quickly, or seem kind of forced and overly coincidental. My verdict is don't buy into the hype. If you watch the trailer, you'll notice there's a lot of that. Don't buy into the hype, but go watch the movie, and don't expect to be scared. You might be, but just don't expect it. But overall, it's a nice watch, so I do recommend it.